Welcome to the Edit That Out podcast, where we always leave it in. I'm your host, Juwan, and I have something a little different for you today, listeners. Today, I'm going to be in a conversation with a lovely young lady. Her name is Ashley Langston. She is an Atlanta-based makeup artist working in the commercial, television, and film industry. And she's worked on many productions and built quite an impressive portfolio over the years, and has been blessed to work on many diverse projects like Willy's Wonderland, Genius, Aretha Franklin, Deezus and Miro, and most recently she's worked on the hit FX show Atlanta, which we are covering this year, and the upcoming feature film Heal, starring Whoopi Goldberg and Danielle Deadwyler. Thank you, Ashley, very much for joining. Did I get that right?
You did. Thank you.
I do some research sometimes.
I see. I noticed. I know. You went to my IMDb.
Yes, of course.
It's all
But
good.
no, it was it was really impressive. I want to talk to you about that Willy's Wonderland too, because I didn't even.
God.
That's an interesting one.
Yeah, about that.
Yes, but thank you very much for joining me today and having this conversation with me about your work on these shows. I want to ask you, can you just tell us a little bit about where your passion for makeup artistry came from and how you got started?
Yeah, so it started out as a hobby when I was in grad school.
Mhm.
It was like my creative outlet. And I remember, like, when I was in undergrad, I liked beauty, makeup, and everything, and I would buy different eyeshadow colors and palettes, but I would never use them. Like, I just collected them. But it wasn't until I got to grad school that I actually started playing around. And actually, I guess you could say I want to say got good enough, but people started noticing and wanting me to do their makeup. So that's how that got started. And I had always kept it like as a side hustle, because I had like my main career,
Mhm.
and I always kept makeup on the side and wanted to still grow that. So that's how that got started.
Mhm. Okay. How did you break into the industry of of commercials and television and film? Where did that come from?
Okay, so when so I'm originally from Memphis, Tennessee,
Mhm.
but I used to live in the Bay Area in Pleasanton, California. So my old career was as an environmental scientist. That's what I went to school for. But I always, again, kept makeup on the side. So I would be working with freelancing at MAC Cosmetics on the weekends while I was out there.
Mhm.
And I would reach out to photographers, like local photographers in the area, to see if they would allow me to do makeup on models to try to build my portfolio.
Mhm.
So I started my website and I was doing photo shoots. And how I got into production specifically because I didn't know that the TV and film world could be a career. I'm thinking it's just like, you know, models, weddings, and all of that. So I saw this post online that said they were looking for an assistant makeup artist for this independent film that was being shot out there in Pleasanton. And I applied for it and I got it. And so I just quit everything else. um, I was like, this is my calling. Like, so that was for 3 weeks. I was on this indie film and I was like, yeah, this is the route that I want to go. So it just literally it snowballed from there, from like people referring me like after that job to refer me to other jobs. And yeah, that was how I got started in production. That was like 2014 when I did my.
Mhm. Okay, that's amazing. That's wonderful that you found a calling like that. That's amazing. So when you're working on a production, do you have a particular approach in how you're going to use that actor or that person as a canvas when they're first presented to you in the trailer or the makeup room?
Mhm. So it all starts out with well, let me explain this. On the trailer, we have different positions of makeup artists. So it all starts with the makeup department head.
Okay.
He, she, or they are the one that will develop the overall look to as far as the makeup to the film.
Right.
Some department heads, they allow you to be creative to where as long as you're within that realm,
Hmm.
you pretty much have control over your actor's look. And some of them design everybody's look. So it really depends on who you're working for.
Hmm.
Um, I've been very honored and blessed to work on department heads who have allowed me to be creative with the look um, that I want to do for a particular actor. So it really just depends on the scene, depends on the background, the story of the actor.
Hmm.
Read the script, read about the actor, what they're doing, um, how they're portrayed, like their history of the
Hmm.
character, and then you can develop a look for them.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. So you get to see the script and of course, because you don't actually work on, hey, I got to make this person up for this particular scene, but you actually are really involved with this in the script process or reading the script as well to kind of like guide you. That's pretty cool. I never even thought of it like,
Yeah,
makeup, the makeup side of it, like, like that they're a part of the actual, they get to see the writing. So that's
sure.
pretty cool. That's
So for
amazing.
I can just give you an example if that's okay. So
Hmm.
let's
Yeah.
say you're working on a show and the character is, let's say, a single mom who works like two jobs
Hmm.
and doesn't have time in a day for herself, and she has kids and she's just struggling trying to make ends meet. I wouldn't put a full beat on
Hmm.
her because that's not reality.
Right.
She's, well, I mean, now, some people may, but for the most part, when you're reading a script like that, she's not going to have time to do it every day. It's not realistic to the story. So
Hmm.
if I were to do makeup on it, and I also have to apply it how she would apply it, not how I as a makeup artist would apply it.
Hmm.
So,
Okay.
um, so
Wow.
like that's how we approach it. You have to read the script and read about the character and develop the makeup based on the character.
Okay. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Mhm.
I would, yeah, I didn't even think of it like, that it's involved like that. That's pretty cool. So you're working on a couple of productions or worked on a couple of productions, of course, that are starring like these amazing black actors. And it's important, when we as black people are portrayed on screen, that we're looking our best or looking, as necessary for that character. So I want to ask you, when it comes to um, doing black skin and portraying us at our best or whatever the scene calls for. Can you speak on what is your philosophy about that?
For one, I would say that for artists to be well rounded when it comes to doing all skin tones.
Hmm.
And that has been an issue just over time, um, with actors, being uncomfortable in certain artist chairs. And I would say me, um, one thing I would say, and you may laugh, but I don't want nobody I'm working on to be ashy. So, so carrying lotion and the good kind, or like some type of oil or butter or whatever in my what we call like our set bag. So like products that we take to set to do touch ups and stuff. That's important to me because I don't want for somebody to see that actor on screen and be like, why his knuckles look like that? Or why his knees look like that? I did it. so yeah, I mean, I understand like what they go through, and yeah, try to do my best to be understanding. And there are artists out there who are not Black, who are great with Black skin as well. So, I mean, in the end, if an artist is not comfortable with doing darker skin tones, then they need to get comfortable. They need to practice. Because you can't be a makeup artist and not know how to do Black skin. Like me, as a Black makeup artist, I have to know how to do everybody's skin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's good philosophy, and especially what you said about, you don't want anybody to be ashy, and I really love that, because like when I see, see us on screen, definitely, it's like what's been happening most recently, since like people have been really focused on trying to make Black people, look their best on screen, and like we're getting much more attention in the film, television, commercial world. It's always like when I see someone like, oh wow, this is, I do notice the makeup. I notice how this person is made up, and so yeah, that's amazing. Like you do have a great philosophy to that, and just shout out to other artists, like you said, that are learning, and getting better. So, but you also mentioned about the relationship with the actor. Mm-hmm. So can you speak about your perspective as a behind the scenes artist on the relationship between yourself and the performer, and what level of trust that you place within each other?
So one thing about this industry is everyone is different. Mm-hmm. And every actor that you encounter, they all have their own personality. So the main thing you'll learn is what they say, read the room. So you have to know who's in front of you, in a sense of picking up off of their vibes. If they're not talkative, you're not going to be talkative. Me, I'm naturally quiet. But if someone is trying to converse with me, I'm going to, give them that back. But if they're just quiet and just sitting there, I'm not going to bother disturb them. And I think I appreciate that when you can tell that they're just in the zone and they just want to be quiet, that you're not bothering them. And that is also how you build trust, because they know you're not just going to be, what they call it, chatty patty all the time. When they're trying to read their lines, they're trying to not get to know, but understand like what they're supposed to be doing in the next scene, especially like an emotional scene or something. And that's another thing. If it's like a sensitive nature type of subject, and you're there for them, like they do see you as a comfort, because you're like the last person most times that they see before they go in front of the camera. So if you have a calming like aura about you, then that can help them out. So it's just a matter of being there, knowing your place, not overstepping your boundaries, but just by being there, letting them know, hey, like I'm here for you. And that's how you build trust with them. Not every relationship with an actor is going to be perfect, but for the most part, they appreciate when you just respect their boundaries.
That's cool that you as an artist and working with lots of entertainers and actors, actresses, etc., that you have a certain level of comfort with them, and that you can help them, guide them through that process, and make it easy on them, because like we hear a lot about, sometimes like background stories, like somebody treat me like such and such, and so. And I'm saying not, I don't know if you have any stories like that, and I don't want you to expound on those, but just that, just that you have a good rapport with your canvases, is how I would call them. Yeah. So shifting gears a little bit, because, when you mentioned like someone in the chair and the last person they're seeing and just talking, I wanted to ask about that Willy Wonderland, because when I saw that on your IMDb, I was like, okay, wow, that is a very interesting job for her to, be on. So how did you talk to Nicolas Cage? Is what the question I had.
So he wasn't. So Nicolas Cage had his own personal makeup artist. So I had to touch him. We never spoke, like, say, hello, just in general to people, but he pretty much just say, stuff. And also in the script, or in the movie, because it's out now, he never said in the movie anyway.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
But I would say that was actually fun to shoot.
Mhm.
And my department head, Aaron, he was great for bringing